do we do with all this? You got to teach your kids courage and grit. Courage and grit. The meme we showed a second ago, if you haven't seen the video by now, this kid, he's got to be over 2 years old because that's the age where kids have to wear masks, unless you're at the Black Cat with Maurice Mobetta Brown performing, and then no one has to wear a mask. But otherwise, all 2-year-olds and over. So this is a daycare. The kid doesn't want to wear a mask because humans are not supposed to have masks over their faces. This is not normal. It's never happened before in human history, and it's not happening anywhere else. Here's the video.
Put your mask on. No, you gotta wear it on, honey.
No, you gotta keep it on.
Put your mask on.
There you go. No, keep it on.
What are we doing? We played 30 seconds. The video is 90 seconds, and who knows how long they did that to the poor kid. Now, the thing that crushes me the most of that video is whoever the woman is. These are all hysterical women. Like, we're being run by hysterical women. That we're being ruled by hysterical women. Is the woman saying, I don't know if it's the mom or whoever, saying, it's going to keep you safe. Mason, it's going to keep you safe, Mason. It's going to keep you safe? Our friend Spencer Clavin, he wrote this. He said, treat a boy like this long enough, and he'll grow up one of two ways. Submissive and spiritually gelded, or brimful of fathomless rage. The tendency, and even the aim, of ruling class neurosis is to create an entire generation of men with souls torn in two between these two states. So the result of treating people like this, boys especially, is either submission, and I've seen so many kids lately just dejected with life, just absolutely dejected, dead in the eyes. They're dead in the eyes. They're like this. And it's a mix of a lot of things, right? It's a mix of video games all the time. It's a mix of just home life and chaos, and they just can't focus. Their eyes are jotted. They dart all over the place all the time. They can't sit still. There's nothing here. They're dead in the eyes. And putting them behind a mask all day, everywhere they go, they're checked out. They're not here. So that's the submissive state. They've just given up on human interaction. And the masks are the final straw. Or kids become full of rage at being treated like cattle or something. I don't even know what that is. Like, no, what? Even these adults you're supposed to trust forcing this thing over your face. And of course the kid's gonna have a natural reaction to pull it off. Like, what are we doing? No one else in the world is masking little kids, but we are. Why? And the answer is to demoralize you. You must be demoralized and humiliated. You'll be forced to be dehumanized until you feel less than a human, because then you'll comply. Let me say something here that no one wants to hear real quick. Go a little off topic here. It is hard to compete in this world, right? So over thousands of years, we've created a system, economic and moral system, where we've determined as a country, as a society, what it takes to be successful, what it means to be successful, right? And to be successful, you have to be really, really good at something, really talented, and work really hard. Very few people can do that. Very few people are talented and work hard and are otherwise not good people who, right? Like, it's hard to be successful. Very few people can do it. A vast majority of people are not talented and do not work hard. Therefore, they're not successful, right? They've finally figured out that if they flip the game, then they can now be successful. So instead of being strong and overcoming difficulty, which used to be rewarded, they flipped the game around. And now they're successful the weaker they say they are. It's easier for people to embrace failure than it is to change. Embracing failure used to be seen as a bad thing. But these people have changed the game where now the bigger the failure you are, the more power and influence and voice you have. They flipped the game around. And this is why a lot of people love this idea of a social credit score. All right? They like the idea of a social credit score because obedience is one of the few metrics that they can beat you on. These people are not smarter than you. They're not more talented than you. They're not more capable than you. They don't work harder than you. And those used to be the metrics of success, right? Talent, wisdom, knowledge, how hard you work, right? That used to be success. But now the metric of success is how much do you obey? And they can obey better than you. They can force their 2-year-olds to wear a mask better than you. They can take the vaccine better than you. They can take the boosters and the daily pills better than you can. They can distance better than you. They can win at that game. And the rules of the game are changing right in front of our eyes. Kids need to feel some danger in their lives. I'm not talking about 2-year-olds, although in some ways, but kids of all different ages, age appropriate. Kids need to feel a rush of adrenaline in their lives. Jordan Peterson yesterday tweeted out a video of some kids skateboarding and then some adult yelling at the kid for skateboarding. And rule number 11, I think we have the video here, but rule number 11 of his book of 12 Rules for Life is don't bother kids who are skateboarding. And he tells a story of he would see kids skateboard outside of his work, and it was on this pebbled concrete, which you would not want to fall on, right? And there's this long 20-foot rail going downstairs, and he would watch these kids jump in the air on a skateboard and balance down this railing and land it. Like, that's impossible. And Peterson said all these people would try to shoo the skateboarders away, but he would sit there and watch them. And be like, this is incredible that what you kids are doing. Why is it incredible? What are these kids really doing? They're trying to become competent at a thing and failing and trying again and again and again. And more importantly, they're facing danger. These kids are exposing themselves to danger and they're trying to master it and overcome it. Right? So that guy's all upset about it, freaking out. When really you need to be saying, kid, that's pretty awesome. Good for you. Now, the trick itself is meaningless. The trick itself has no relationship to life, unless you're a professional skateboarder or something. But the skills that are being built in that process are priceless and transferable to real life. And that's what matters when you're raising kids. The courage to try something like that. The grit to try it over and over and over again. Courage and grit, two things that our kids need more of and our country needs more of. And all of this COVID is making kids so pathetically fragile and scared. And we're telling kids to be safe. Don't be near anyone. Don't touch anyone. Don't even go outside without a mask. Stay 6 feet apart. And then if ever a kid accidentally gets on a playground, we tell them, be careful, oh, be careful. Gosh, it's ridiculous. Our kids are so fragile. A little gust of wind, can break their little porcelain bodies and they have to go to the hospital. Kids are these little wispy figurines. We're making them too scared to breathe air.
Wow, that was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.